The following podcast may be explicit. One Joe Young presents Adventures from the Shed, a tabletop RPG podcast. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com. Having bargained for the information from the King of Spiders, our heroes encounter a garbage monster on the streets of Korvosa. We rejoin the action in the middle of the tussle. Let's see how our characters fare against the beast. Enjoy the podcast. Hi, and welcome back to The Shed for Adventures from the Shed. Find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com. Search us up on iTunes, Google, anywhere you'd like. We're jumping right back into our Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition campaign that we are running in the Pathfinder Adventure Path, Curse of the Crimson Throne. We are right in the middle of a combat, so we're going to go around the table and say hi quickly, starting with...
Hi, everyone. This is Mickie. I play Veritana, the wizard who hates magic missile.
JJ here. I am playing Ashley Morgan. I am up there swashbuckling.
Swashing the buckle.
This is Chris. I'm playing the bard Greg Gary Oos.
And this is Kurt. I am playing Crispin, the stout halfling barbarian who has been grappled by the thing he can't pronounce, but which
Garbage
smells
monster.
nasty.
And I'm Joe. I'm the Dungeon Master as we continue this campaign. Our group had just finished a bargain with the King of Spiders, found some, acquired some blackmail to bring back to the Citadel. On the way back to the Citadel, the ground erupted in an a garbage monster erupted from the ground and started chewing on a commoner. The group saved the commoner and are in the middle of combat with this garbage monster. We are beginning, I believe, our third round of combat right at the top of the order with...
Ashley will take another stab at it now that he's feeling like it's really invested in Crispin, and
it sure as heck is.
He's gonna try to stab it in a nerve cluster.
He's got Crispin wrapped up, and he's trying to do the bam bam thing with him on the ground, like bam bam bam. But Crispin's resistant to that.
All right, so 14 plus 5 is 19 to hit.
That hits.
Hit him hard. Hit him fast.
Hit him hard and fast.
No lube.
Jesus.
Oh, sorry. Did I say that?
You did.
Blood for lube.
12 damage.
You said no lube.
Blood for lube.
I have
Ice Cube says, no Vaseline.
As I sneak attack it.
Just a,
I have
and a
recorded that
gasoline.
damage. Who's up after that?
I am.
Go
I
ahead.
take a stab with the rapier. All right, either of those would have hit.
nice.
When it mattered. 6 points of damage.
What was your total anyway? Because I like to hear it.
The highest would have been a 21.
Definitely hits. 6 points, you say?
Correct.
6 points of damage have been recorded. What is Crispin going to do next? Because I believe he's up next. He is grappled by this thing. It's got two tentacles wrapped around him, trying to slam him into the street.
Right. So I am going to make a strength, I guess, saving throw or strength check to get out.
So it's under the grappled.
Opposed,
it
opposed
ends
check.
if you're incapacitated, or what else?
Athletics.
It doesn't tell you.
Yeah, it doesn't. Actually,
but
I'm looking
you
at
have
the
to be able
conditions.
to power your way out.
Let's do it as an opposed strength check. What the heck?
Okay.
I will tell
You have
you, I
advantage,
probably beat you if you say,
You're right. I have advantage because of my rage.
Okay, go for it.
And I rolled both times a 9 plus 2.
I have a 17.
So I am still going to be grappled.
So you won't break out.
So
on
is that
your
my
turn.
standard action to do that?
That is.
All right. So
No, that's your move.
Is it?
Pretty sure. Give me can I see your player's handbook?
I thought anytime you rolled a d20, it was an action.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because
Let's
move
say-
is
I want to say
move.
that's his action. Yeah.
it would make sense that it was an action, but
So you didn't get out. Now, in a way, that's good because you'll only withstand 2 attacks instead of 3.
Yeah. Look on the bright side.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anything I can do with my bonus action, but I don't think there is.
You could rage. I'm going to get so pissed off at this thing.
Right? There's nothing I can do.
Tana, go for it. Let's just move right along. If we find
Are you
something
wearing-
different, we'll do it next turn.
No armor.
Are you
No
wearing armor?
I am unarmored.
You're unarmored. All right, so what are my chances for running over to him and touching him with my mage hand?
I would say let's do it as a dexterity check with a DC of 13.
Oh, crap, I have no dexterity.
Does she get advantage?
I'm not that bad if you'd rather attack him. He's in pretty bad shape, I think.
And you do get advantage to attack, though.
And also remember what I was telling you early on in the combat. These are the garbage disposals of the city, so chances are you don't have to beat it to death. But if you guys choose to, you will.
Yeah, you just want to get rid of you and take off.
Fine. I'll do stupid magic missile.
You have advantage, so if you want to do something that you have to roll,
I don't have anything else.
You don't.
Firebolt,
You prestidigitate,
but then
the heck out
you'd
of
go
the
on
thing.
fire.
You can use
probably let 'em go.
prestidigitation to clean. What would a garbage monster do if it was cleaned?
You could use the plunger action.
I don't think you're using that right.
Oh, I'm using it right.
I'm
Cleaning
going
out the
to
garbage disposal.
cast it at level 2, though, so it'll be... Well, he's got his ongoing damage from the last acid splash, so we'll roll that.
Do that. That was with the critical
1.
fail, but it's another damage.
Why level 2 instead of level 3?
Because then I get to do 4 instead of just 3.
Yeah, when you
According
cast a
to-
spell at a higher spell slot, you can do extra depending on the spell's description.
But you can't get it up
Whatever the
to
extra
third
is.
level spell slot yet.
I only have 2.
Yeah. She ain't ready for that yet.
Damn it!
Oh,
Look at this.
wow.
Oh my
3
god,
ones.
you were rolling awful.
3 ones.
3 ones.
So that was
that's
what?
plus
5
1 each?
plus 2.
Plus 2 each, okay.
So wait,
That'd be 6
I'll tell
then.
you how much. There's a 4 plus 1, that's 5. 2, 7. Plus another 2, 9. Plus another 2, 11.
11, I can do adding that. Okay.
And all these dice are on timeout.
I think she had 11 last time.
So it is now going to try to bite Crispin again.
Ah!
Does it still have advantage against you?
I'm grappled. So.
She's grappled, so maybe.
I don't see it as having advantage against you grappled. It doesn't say that.
Oh yeah, you had advantage because of my reckless attack. which I
Yeah,
did
that's
not
what
do
I'm
this
looking
time.
at. Well, you are restrained too. So attack rolls against you have advantage. And actually, your attack rolls have disadvantage.
Oh,
Yeah.
what's the difference with restrained and grappled?
Well, in this case, because you were grappled, you are grappled and restrained until the grapple ends. That's a specific thing for the tentacle attack of the garbage monster. So I have advantage. I rolled a 3 and a 5. It's actually not going to hit you this time.
Ah,
'cause
superb!
11 does not hit you.
It must
right?
have been distracted by the magic missiles that just hit it in the face.
Yeah, good.
So
good,
the
good that she
bite
used that.
misses, but it is going to try and slam you into the bam, bam. You have a strength saving throw.
Okay, and I don't have a card to use this time, so let's actually roll. This is
Let's
going in
see what
timeout if I
happens.
don't roll well here.
How's that going to work out? He's going to roll it in front of Chris.
16 total.
16. You successfully avoid extra damage from being bludgeoned. It still shakes you up a bit.
I'm a stout little halfling. I'm tough. He's like trying to slam me. I'm like, no, you don't. No, you
This,
don't.
this,
No, you don't, you little fucker.
this large monster that has you grappled in
huge.
its tentacles is slamming you on the ground. You're just withstanding it because you're fighting against it hard enough. Go ahead, Ashley, back to the beginning of the
Ashley
order.
will, again, try to penetrate a nerve cluster. All right, that is a 14 to hit.
A 14 hits.
And then
You have achieved penetration.
Whoa. Oh, that's the wrong
You said
dice.
you're trying to penetrate.
All right, so 8
In a
plus
nerve
2, 10,
He's got a lot of nerve.
plus 6 is 16 damage.
16 damage. At that point with that attack, you can see it kind of loses its will to keep tussling with you. It loosens its grip on Crispin and focuses its gaze back to where it came from.
Oh,
So it runs off.
Better run.
It's not its turn yet, but it looks like it's going to run off.
I'm going to light it on fire.
I'll let it run off.
I mean, that
You're
seems
so
to be
nice.
our solution to most problems.
It has its purpose.
Now remember, if you're going to continue as heroes of Korvosa, you probably don't want to be lighting things on fire in public.
and killing its trash.
It depends what it is.
Yeah.
Why did this thing burst up through the street? Do we know?
Because of the
attracted,
chaos
yeah.
above, it was attracted to the mess of what was
It
going on.
was curious.
Yeah.
Indeed, it uses the term curious right in the
In fact,
description.
the gentleman the commoner who was grabbed had a yellow hat.
And a monkey.
And,
A full yellow suit.
wait, and a monkey?
And now you guys didn't hear it because it's telepathy, but when the garbage monster came up through the ground, it sent a message to that saying it's a lot of yellow for one man. But you didn't hear it. So that was in the Curious George movie.
All right, so is
Ask me how I know. If you're letting it go, it's gone,
Yeah, I'm gonna let it go, and I'll
and then it goes away.
assume you need
Wait,
some
we have
healing.
to stop here for a second. Of all the movies that you've seen and can quote, when you're always like, I don't ever watch movies, you're going to quote Curious George movies?
I don't
He has
count
children.
I don't count kids movies because they're. And when I say I don't see movies, I don't see them in the theater. I did mention I do watch some things on Netflix. I love watching B horror movies.
I'm just going to
But-
think about you sitting home on a Friday night watching the Curious George
Sure.
movie by
Heck
yourself.
yeah. Tell me I haven't. Go ahead.
Hey,
Try.
Bridget, you want to have a little quality snuggle time on the couch and watch some Curious George?
Not again.
I'll show you my curious little monkey.
Whoa.
I always wanted a monkey.
Whoa.
All right, sorry. First start for the
So
aside.
that's good. So now we jump back into the timeline we were in. You guys make it back to the Citadel. You deliver the blackmail.
We already got our
And
reward.
when you do
Do I
that,
need to do the lesser restoration?
Well, you
on,
got- yeah, you got the
disease boy
500.
over here.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Lesser restoration on disease boy over
Yeah,
here.
it's a good idea. Check the spell to make sure it gets rid of disease/poison, just to be sure.
It
Pretty
says
sure
poison. It doesn't say disease.
It is a poison.
Yeah. Then
He
that
was
works.
diseased with a poison.
Then that's,
How the hell that figure?
Pretty sure lesser restoration.
yeah, it does poison for sure.
But yeah, you got the so
Oh, yeah,
again,
or disease, yeah.
well, if we revisit the timeline, she blushes as she reads the note. She hands you an extra 500 gold,
Sweet.
and she awards you the Drake's mark. So each of you has that mark and the medal that you can wear.
And after she reads the note, I'll be like, and if you ever want to try any of that.
Oh my god. You're going to get thrown in the dungeon.
She says, not at this time.
Charming though you are.
Charming though you are. So next, you get a rest in, relax.
Showers.
Some more rumors are flowing through the city. However, the city seems to be calming down a little bit. So it's not as bad.
The transition is
In the next day, it kind of goes from anarchy to just kind of riotous rather than anarchy. There are less bad things happening in the street. The guards seem to start getting better control over what's going on. But the rumors about the king's assassin, the king's killer, that artist, are just becoming more prevalent. You hear more about that during that day. And at that point, Cressida calls you back in to her office for another mission. And it's funny because it says with a third mission. This is the third one she sends you on. Although it's odd because in the story or in the book, she could have sent you on two others in the meantime, but they label this as the third. Anyway, you go in to see her. She says, "You've doubtless heard the stories that the king's killer has been named, yet there's something more going on here, I'm afraid. Queen Iliosa could have quietly had this Trinia Sabor arrested at any time, yet the way in which she revealed the information to the city seems to me like she wants the riots to come back. With the city the way it is, the girl doesn't stand a chance of a fair trial. They'll lynch her the moment they catch her. Even if she did kill the king, mob justice isn't the way. Worse, if she's innocent, the real killer, if indeed the king was murdered at all in the first place, can use this distraction to throw us off the trail forever. Before Trinia is captured and executed, I need to be absolutely sure she's guilty. And that means we need to catch her before someone else does. I have managed to determine her last known address, which is a flat in Midland at 42 Moon Street. But soon, so will the rest of the guard. They'll know where she lives too, and the mob itself for that matter. These rumors have riled up the locals something fierce, and there's even bands of Hell Knights of the Order of the Nail patrolling the streets looking for her. On top of all this, word is that Queen Ilios is not satisfied with what the Korvosan Guard's been doing to address the situation, and that she's preparing to disband the Sable Company itself and reveal a newly founded order of specialized guards to help bring order to the city. For now, I've still got a fair number of Korvosan guards who are loyal to me, but the problem is I've got them at work keeping things from getting any worse, and if I were to send them into Midland, it would be a riot. That would trigger a riot. It would be a riot. It would be hysterical.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can see where this is going. I need you to get into Midland, find Trinia, and bring her back to me so we can deliver her safe and sound to somewhere she can be interrogated, preferably with magic, so we can be absolutely sure of her role in the king's death. Get in there, catch her, and get out without letting the mob or the Hell Knights or the Queen's Guards get their hands on her. I'll have loyal agents and officers nearby to take her into custody. If you can get her to one of them, we'll be in the clear. Any questions?
What's up with these Hell Knights?
That's a damn good question. They don't explain them thoroughly before introducing them into dialogue. But the Hell Knights are bigger, badder. They're not the regular guards of the city. They're external forces that work with the city.
They are a
Sounds like
nightly order with a
Yes.
unique focus on the promulgation of law.
Yeah. But they're not beholden to the city itself.
They're vigilantes.
No. I mean...
They're more about order than goodness.
I consider vigilante to be citizens rising up. They're not really citizens of the city. They are their own justice,
Right.
but wherever they are, not necessarily vigilante, I guess. That's the way I'm viewing that.
How did they get brought up? Because they're originally from Cheliax, the Hell Knights.
And I think part of it is just that there is some Cheliax and Korvosan alliance, although it's tenuous at best.
And they look super sweet. They're like this kind
They
of almost like
look
a
super sweet.
black demon
Damn,
armor.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Maybe we should tell the ambassador to tell his boys to dial it back a little bit.
Maybe.
They're more interested in like order, and they'll use fear than they are like goodness and charity. Like
Maybe we
you
should tell them to
expect
back
from paladins.
off, or we spill the beans on the ambassador.
And they might back off.
Just so we don't have any,
But-
we have
but-
less people looking for him. You know,
True.
check.
Overall,
Makes it easier for
what
us.
she's trying to send you off to do is to get Trinia yourselves
Right.
before anyone else can get
Yeah,
to
but
her.
if we have less
It's a
people
matter
after,
of time.
right? That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Trying to buy ourselves. some more
Understood,
time.
yeah. But it might take time to go find the right people to make that deal happen.
So, I know we kind of mentioned about we were going to do a little bit of shopping. Would Veritata have been able to learn more spells
Like Magic Missile
or Silent Image?
or Magic Missile.
There's
I honestly can't remember how 5th edition structures adding spells to your spell book.
So, anytime she can spend time at a library, she can add stuff to her. She can know every single spell in the world.
Right. That's the coolest part of being a wizard, in my
But
She
opinion.
can only have
Have
it
to-
memorized for the day when
Exactly.
she's been like studying.
Right.
Pair, yeah.
I would say that I would be happy with, for 1,000 gold per the level of the spell, you can pick any one spell and add it to your spell book in the time that we had.
The reason why I was thinking Silent Image, you could put a different face on her.
And walk her home and walk her back.
Exactly. If that's something that Veritata
So
would
it's
do.
a level.
You have
If
the
it's a
disguise
level
kit,
1
though, too.
spell, it'll be 1,000 gold. For
You got
level
the
2,
disguise kit, though,
2,000.
too, right?
I do have a disguise kit, but that can only change
yeah.
a little bit.
Alright.
Silent Image, she could make the person 7 foot tall, menacing person.
Is it within certain guidelines?
She could just basically overlap. So as long as
It's like perfect disguise.
yeah,
I don't know that we should spend 1,000 gold on that.
But
now,
the word silent
I mean, she
infers
can't
that
talk.
she can't talk. Okay. I just want to make sure the word silent must mean something. And if it's just that they can't emulate sounds, then okay. So you could turn her into a minotaur, but you couldn't make minotaur sounds.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
What I was looking up
sorry.
before you so rudely interrupted me by flipping through my book was I
Yeah.
was going to take
Flipper.
time. I was going to drop one of my level 1 spells and replace it with Find Familiar.
All right. We'll talk about it later, but I explained it to you before.
I always have a familiar. Yes, I know you told me that. But the spell Find Familiar gives me the telepathic communication.
It permanently. Once you cast it, it's permanent. You have telepathic communication with the familiar.
That's not what it says here, though.
Yes, it is.
So we will take this as you guys are going to go try and find Trinia.
Oh yeah, I wanted to find her before we did the other.
All
one.
right. So let's head off to that. So you're heading towards
Midland or something.
Midland, and the area in Midland that you're headed towards
Is Midland a region of town? Or is that
I don't know. I
It
can't
should
find
be.
it on the map.
It is with a capital M, so it should be.
Yeah, I can't find it on the map, so I'm assuming it's like near the
It's hard
castle.
to read.
It's in a lower class area. Korvosa. It ought to be in there somewhere. However,
Yeah, it's hard to read. This one.
when you head in the right direction towards the address that you were given, 42 Moon Street, it's in a densely built section of the city, an area where at ground level there's hardly any sunlight because there's like a dense canopy of city above it. There are catwalks, overhanging roof, laundry lines. This place, when I read this description, I was thinking of some of the movie shots of some places in India where, like, at street level, there's all these things overhead.
Yeah.
And that's the feeling I got from it. And they call it shingles because almost all travel off of the ground level is on the rooftops. Okay. So they call the area shingles, capital S. But yeah, there's homemade bridges of rope and boards across the top, and there's just a clattered tangle of multi-level mess of gutters.
Perfect for
upper
a
floors,
chase scene.
Rooftops. It's exactly.
Bourne
This is going to be some Assassin's Creed version.
And this is the slum above, which is a sprawl known as the Shingles, and this is where you find 42 Moon Street. You find the building. And it is an old tenement, 3 floors high. Contains probably a couple of dozen flats. And 42 looks like it's on the 3rd floor in the southwest corner. And you reach there with little problem. There's a lot of people on the streets, people around looking for her, but also there's just a lot of people around.
Looking for some hot shingles.
Looking for some shingles.
Hot shingles in my area.
So you reach her door, the door to her flat.
Is there a back entrance, windows?
There are windows on the outside, so I'm looking at this as more of the, I keep thinking of it, the way it's described is kind of like a hotel thing. There's a door and a hallway to get into the flat,
So
and then there would be window. Yeah, it is literally a tenement, it says that. But
We have someone cover the other window.
there's no map for it because of the way doesn't need a map. It's a
So it's an
single
apartment
room
complex,
flat.
essentially.
Yeah.
She's
It
living in
is.
a studio apartment, and you guys have arrived at the door to the apartment.
If you guys want, I can send my raven to see
Yeah, take a peek.
what's up there.
Take a peek through the window.
Since allegedly I have telepathic communication all the time with
Be like
this thing.
Beastmaster.
Okay.
So Edgar is my raven.
If it dies, will you get Alan?
Nah, EA Poe.
Yeah.
So I have to be within 100 feet of it. And I've got a telepathic connection. I see what it sees and hears what it hears.
So you're going to go fly
So-
outside and look into the window on the other side of the apartment or something?
Correct.
Looking in the window, you see it's a one-room flat combining all the amenities of a bedroom, a kitchen, a painter's studio, and it leaves little space for much else. There's a stack of cheese and bread on the counter next to several full water skins. And there's an easel in the opposite corner of the table that holds a half-completed painting of an imp and a house drake fighting atop a church steeple. And there's a single window, which is what you're looking in through Edgar's eyes. And you can see somebody sleeping on the bed.
Do I see like just the shape of a person, or can I confirm that it's our
It
artist?
looks like somebody sleeping in the bed.
Okay. So all we know is that there's one person within the room that appears to be sleeping on the bed. We still have no confirmation that it's our perp.
Well, as far as you know, as far as you've heard, she's a very attractive young blonde lady, and there is a head of blonde hair sleeping in the bed.
So
Actually, you got a way of opening this door quietly?
I got some thieves' tools.
Okay. So you go to check it?
Yeah.
It's not actually locked.
All right, so
I
open
will
it
hold
quietly.
on.
Why would she not lock her door?
Hold on. Give me a second.
Hold, please.
I got to see the range
The
on
bard
this.
has an idea.
I just want to see the range. If it work. From the doorway, I will cast silence, so we got some silence when we
Okay.
go into the room.
Okay.
20 feet.
Silence happens.
All right, open the door.
It looks like it's jammed shut. Or feels like it's jammed shut. It doesn't just open. There's a thunk, like there's something on the other
there's
side
no
of the
thunk.
door.
There's no thunk, but it does stop short.
It stops you. You thunk. How about that?
Check for a
I'll
trap.
try to
Because
brute force
unless
it.
you cast silence on the person standing at the door, you go, "Ugh,"
No.
as the door doesn't move.
See if there's a trap though. First,
Yeah, I mean,
might have something set up.
So I'll look around. That is a 11.
There is, from what you can tell, based on what you felt on the other side, it's the old trick of it. There's a chair shoved under the door handle, and the door is just barred. Not barred. There's stuff stacked against the door on the other side.
I will use my mage hand to remove the.
Can you use that without line of sight? Mage hand to me I always think line of sight. You need to be able to see what you want to move.
Yeah, so a spectral floating hand appears at the point we choose within range. It has to be within 30 feet of me. Yeah. Up to 10 pounds.
Yeah, I guess you could just have it swing around wildly on the other side of the door. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
Or if we could crack it open and just, maybe, I don't know.
So,
Well, I mean, we could also-
specifically, what I can tell you is there is a strength DC to just bash the door.
So yeah,
open.
so I'm still in the area of silence. I'll motion to Crispin, come over here, and I
Bash the door
pantomime.
open.
Yeah.
bash
So
the
just
door.
do a strength check.
Do you guys
please.
want to talk to her before you just break into her?
No,
place?
I want to be in there.
Want to be in there silent.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
take a 10. Turn on
10
your microphone.
plus. Yeah, 10 plus what?
No,
No.
can't hear you at all.
Is it green?
Yeah, it's green. It's just maybe you got a
Oh,
little thing.
this thing is all crimped. When I was telling you about keeping this straight, it's probably something.
Well,
No,
you
I
got it
can't
off
hear
now.
you at all, Kurt.
Oh.
Turn it off, turn it back on.
Yeah, turn it off and then turn it back on. Reboot, and we'll see what happens. Hold it
but
until
anyways-
the light goes out, and hold it until the light goes out, and then we will try it again, and then press it. Hold it until the light comes on, and see if that works.
If it's just as.
Nope.
No, we don't get to hear Kurt at all. Isn't that awesome?
I'll just have to yell really loud.
D's nuts, as it were. You know what? I'm actually we need to fix that. So let me stop. Okay,
Hold on,
we're
hold on.
back,
No, no,
and
no.
we got Kurt. What? Oh, what?
Mickey left
What
her
happened?
channel because she was trying to figure out how Kurt could have done it.
All right.
So you can use Mage Hand, but you're effectively
You
blind.
got it now. All right, cool.
If you can't see it.
Yeah, but it's fine. We're just going to bust it.
So we got it. And so what'd you get? So your first roll doesn't let you get through.
But
What is
I could
your
take
strength?
10.
What's your strength modifier?
+2.
It does not take 10. Does not let you get through. So
Okay.
you're spending a bunch of time just trying to bust through the door. Then
Yeah.
Okay.
which
But-
isn't necessarily good for a chase scene.
Probably could.
But
just
we
go
got
through the window.
silence, so
Do you guys want to try?
it's
the
not like we're
window?
making a ton of noise.
I can use the mage hand to move stuff out of the way.
Do you
We
want
can
to
do
try
that.
the window?
Go for it.
I'm just going to have it move, as long as it's under 10 pounds, I can move the chair
Well, let's
out of the
put it
way.
this way. So, say right when you're ready to take the 10, if Edgar's still out there, Edgar notices that, or you notice through Edgar's eyes, that the bed, like you blink, or Edgar blinks, and it doesn't look like the bed is slept in anymore. There's nothing in the bed.
So there's an illusion.
It's very possible.
I would relay that to the party. It
You can't.
appeared-
We're in a cone of
Silence
silence.
was inside the room, not outside.
It should start from the door and go
Yes.
into
Not
the
the
room.
party wasn't silenced. Your target was silenced.
So again, I would relay that to the group.
Otherwise, he couldn't cast Mage Hand. I'm not going to make myself too quiet. Yeah, so it looks like the bed is empty now.
Kick the door in.
After what could be described in game terms as 2 rounds,
Yeah, right.
just to give you the idea of how
And it
long
looks-
this is
you,
taking.
You said it looks like it hasn't been slept in. So
No, it's just there isn't a person there anymore.
Right.
Everything else is the same in the room, but what was a person sleeping in the bed, there isn't one now.
she's no longer in the bed. So she's on the move. Did we case the joint? Is there only one entrance and one exit?
As far as we know.
Yes.
Yeah, the door and the window are the only 2 things that you can see.
So she could be hiding inside.
She could be. You want to do a perception
be
check with
out the
your
window.
Yeah, I'll
with
do a
your
perception
Raven? Edgar ought to be able to spot that if that's the case.
Now, how does it work? Is it Edgar's perception or
Yes.
is it my perception?
Edgar's procession.
which sucks. 9.
However, you've been looking in the room for a half a minute now, and there's nothing else moving in there. You're not positive no one's in there because you got a 9, but you're pretty positive that nothing has moved around in there. How about that?
Awesome. His passive perception is 13, in case that matters.
That's actually, I was going with the whole passive perception idea on why you noticed that there wasn't something in the bed after a couple of rounds.
Do you guys want to try going in through the window? Since the
Yeah,
door
just
is
kick the door
barred?
in.
Well, you can
So
just,
you crap on my idea of climbing roofs, but you want to climb up an apartment building to her window.
I thought we were on the first level.
she's on the third floor.
Oh.
However, there's the myriad of catwalks and stuff
Yeah,
overhead.
But Tana's a super skilled climber, so I think we should.
She is. She can scale a building in a single day.
I take that back.
You just kick
I
the
thought we
door.
were on the first level.
All right. In order to actually bust through this door, I'll tell you flat out, you need a strength check of 16 or better. It really is a door, a chair and stuff stacked on the other side of the door. It isn't just a simple push the door. So if somebody can hit it hard enough, and each roll is going to take another round, which is the farther away she may be getting.
I mean, I wouldn't rage just to make a strength check, but can I roll one more?
Oh, you can roll as many as you want. Each roll is another round that she gets farther away.
Plus 2 is 14.
14, that's not enough.
Anyone else want to try?
Yeah, sure. Why
Give
not?
him bardic inspiration. He
While
can add a
they're-
D6 to it.
While they're pounding
silently
on the door,
at the
can
door.
I have
Yeah, at least we're
Edgar
not making any noise.
fly around to the back of the building to see if somebody's run
you
out?
can look. Yes.
Actually, you can use Euro point, right?
What is that, perception check?
to reroll?
Give me another perception roll, please.
No, that's better. Now it's 17.
Okay, so you can see a person who matches Trinia's description probably about 3 rounds ahead of where you are right now.
Hey, geniuses, she left.
And she is
How did she
making her
leave?
way parkour style across the shingles, across the rooftops, across the catwalks.
All right, we're gonna have to use the Raven as a drone to keep an eye on her.
All right.
It's not a bad idea.
So I'm
Well,
going
you
to
got
take
100
off.
feet? Mm-hmm. So it can't get too far away.
I'm going to take off then.
Yeah.
Which way?
Yeah, full blast.
Chasing?
Yep.
Give him the
All right.
direction.
So there are actually rules for the chase thing in Pathfinder. I'm not using those because I'm going to do something a little different so that we don't spend forever on the chase scene. The way this works is the book gives me 15 obstacles to work with. I'm going to randomly pick an obstacle that you guys have to get through. And for every success, you get one thing closer to her. And at the time where you are caught up to her, that's when you have a chance of grabbing her. All right, so that's your chance. Now, if all 4 of you are participating, then there will be 4 rolls, so you have more chances of catching up. And that's how we're going to work it. Right now, because of the way the scene is played out so far, she is going to start 4 rounds ahead of you, so you will need to make 4 successes to 1 of her failures in order to catch her right away. Otherwise, it'll be some time to go through it. And I'm going to keep track of where we are on that. So let's go in. Let's pick initiatives, and we'll just go in that order because we don't need to roll.
Yeah.
So Ashley will go first, and Ashley, actually roll a d20, but we're going to ignore everything over 15. If it's over 15,
18.
re-roll it. Because I need a number 1 through 15.
19. 18.
You're just wasting it.
Roll one of the other ones.
10.
Okay, so the first obstacle in your way is a very steep roof. You either need an athletics or acrobatics check.
Acrobatics.
You're going to use acrobatics. I will tell you if you succeed.
Acro.
That is a 16 on the dice.
Okay, so you succeed. So you scale the very steep roof and get a little bit closer to her.
Now, again, one of the advantages of Rogue is cunning action. I get to use a bonus action to take an extra move. Is that going to play into this at all, or
I'd say probably not.
Okay.
I mean,
it doesn't work with how you want to do it? I
not
gotcha.
necessarily. Mainly because we've got 4 against 1 already. So you guys are using alternate routes to try and catch her. You're doing it that way.
Pincer move.
slower.
Pincer move.
Yeah. So you're successful. I guess what I would do is if you failed your first one, give you a chance at recouping the
Okay.
ground. Maybe that would be the way to do it. And next would be Greg.
4.
A 4.
Well,
It is.
you said to-
Yep. So you see. Actually, do this. Give me a perception check.
Natural 20.
Well, gosh, get a luck card first off.
He sees everything.
And you spot a shortcut that can get you there faster.
Sweet. I don't need a raven.
So you succeed on that. That's a success.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't need a raven. And you have a luck card to work with. What's that?
1d4. Yeah, the 1-4 saving throw.
Cool. And then next will be Crispin.
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 Kurt.
Sorry. Sorry.
I know you can be a little distracted today. That's okay. So roll me a d20. Ignore everything 16 and up until you give me a number that is 1 to 15.
4.
Shortcut.
Oh, give me give me a perception check.
15 plus 2, I think.
Okay, you also spy a route that would get you there faster. So you spy a hidden shortcut.
Would a 15 have done that? I'm not sure what my...
A 13. You would have
well,
15 total. You have a plus 3.
The DC is 15.
Okay.
For what I was looking for.
Sorry, so I saw a
So you
shortcut.
saw a shortcut that could get you towards her faster.
Even though
so
I'm
essentially
slow?
Yeah, you just
Well,
spotted
yeah,
something.
but you found a quick way to get there.
Okay.
And Tana,
I
give me that D20 roll first.
Right, so
A 1 to 15 random number first.
my goal is to stay within range of Edgar, not necessarily climbing.
Okay. Well, Edgar could give you the advantages you need here, too.
13.
13. Edgar is looking on your path as you're going to make sure that you don't stumble on things. Give me a perception roll from Edgar's perspective.
Critical fail.
Oh, do you have any way to help with that?
Hero point.
I would use that.
Edgar's taking fire for some kids throwing
Well,
slingshots at him.
let me put this back into context. You are going on the shingles. You're on the upper level of this area of the city. Failure probably means you're going to fall, and you're falling from 3 stories up. So put that into context. You don't want to fail if you can avoid it. And a critical fail might be even worse.
Did you use a hero point for a reroll?
That's what I would do.
I just need to find the chart where I
Just don't roll
listed
number
how many I
1.
had. 18.
All right. So Edgar, through your link with Edgar, he makes you aware of some jagged nails in your path that that allows you to get past them easily without having to die.
It would be fine. I just got a tetanus shot. So I'm good.
Yeah, they're coated with non-tetanus or something, whatever that is.
Next.
And now it's her turn, so I'm letting her go. All right. So at this point, the 4 of you, you've kind of maybe you fanned out a little, and you all see her, and you can tell that if you keep going at the rate you're going, you're really close to grabbing her. She is within sight now, so I'm thinking within sight. Everyone has maybe a 30-foot double move because you're all through weird terrain at this point. Not necessarily difficult, but weird.
I don't have problems
Right.
with your terrain.
But she's close enough that you think you could grab her, as long as all of you are successful here. So let's go back to the beginning with Ashley.
I have an 11.
11.
I will like to say that difficult terrain does not hinder me.
It doesn't. You're right.
Yeah, we spent 1,500 gold for that.
Yeah, so
Yeah. I was just
Let's make
thinking
sure that
of it as the
whatever
distance.
bonuses might get.
Yeah, it's a good point here because that might help with something. You at the last moment spot a spider nest. Let's see if you can avoid it. Now, is it nature now or survival?
Survival or like what are you trying to
The
get?
2 different ones are survival or knowledge nature, and I think it's just survival now.
Yeah, survival and nature both exist.
So whichever one's higher for you.
I'll do survival.
Well, I would say survival is probably your better option anyway. So give me a roll for that one.
19.
A 19, you are able to avoid the drain spider nest.
Whoa.
So you are now almost equal with her, and she veers off slightly, which happens to be in the direction that Greg is running from.
All right.
And let's see what happens.
So this is the 1
there.
through 15 thing
yeah,
again?
Give me that. I just want to see what
Oh,
your
one.
obstacle.
Ooh, the one time we don't mind rolling a 1.
Yeah, and that's a good point. The rooftop between you and her right now is just loaded with clutter. It's either going to be climb isn't a skill anymore. It's athletics, right?
Athletics is.
So it's either acrobatics or athletics
Acrobatics
to get
for
through
me.
this clutter to get to her.
Be a 20, not natural. 20, not natural.
Okay, so you're able to clamber through the clutter, and now she veers off slightly again because you two are almost within arm's reach of her, and she's headed towards the direction that Crispin is barreling from.
Yep. So
Crispin, give me that one.
He's just running through walls like the Hulk.
Yeah, leaving the shape in the walls like a cartoon character.
I'm like the Kool-Aid man.
Oh, yeah. The wall.
Oh yeah.
12. Actually, this could be a fun one for you. Just as you're running forward, there's this drunk on the rooftop. He's like, "You're not getting through me."
I'm like, just watch me. Or come in with a forearm and just knock him out of the way and keep
Just
barreling
run through his legs.
So I'll give you two options: either intimidate or a strength check. Because he's intimidating you. It's kind of like
Yeah, a strength check. I'm not
go for
stopping,
it.
so I'm just
Okay.
going.
So give me that.
Not so strong.
Hero point.
5.
Hero,
Okay.
reroll.
Do you have any?
I have 5 more.
Yeah.
According to my thing.
I would tell you that's probably worth a reroll unless
Yeah.
you want to fall 3 stories to the
Wait,
ground.
was
no.
that a strength-based one?
Yeah.
Because I have reroll a dex-based thing.
You do?
When I wrote these down originally, I found my original notes. That's what I
hero
was looking
points?
for.
That's you reroll dexes during your scene.
Okay. So anybody, whatever they have, that's what it is?
No, you during your scene.
Okay.
So your card that you drew is specific to a scene coming up in our adventure.
Okie doke.
Yes.
Scratch that.
You might want to reroll that.
Yeah.
I don't mind you falling. Doesn't bug me.
No, I wrote about my hero points, but I have them on my sheet, so. 17.
A 17, you're able to push your way through the rooftop vagrant.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right.
And at that point, you have now, the three between Ashley, Greg, and Crispin have cornered her that she's ready to run right into Tana's arms to be caught if she can be successful on her roll.
I see it.
Well, these aren't hero points. They're the hero
give me
points.
the 1 to
Hero
15.
points.
That's
where they
That's
came
what I've
from.
been saying. Hero.
I know. I was
Everybody
wondering-
else says
I was
hero.
wondering why you were mispronouncing. I was like, does he not know the word hero? And then I'm like,
Give
oh.
me another
Hero
roll,
points.
please.
From the heroine.
Yeah. 11 was a spider nest.
2.
We don't want 2 spider nests. Edgar, telepathically, however ravens talk, tells you that rooftop you're stepping on is starting to crumble. You shouldn't step there anymore. So you either have an athletics or acrobatics DC check here, which
Neither.
neither one's going to be particularly good for you.
Got any spells you can pull off?
Yeah, right. Levitation? No.
Featherfall?
That would be pretty cool, levitation.
Yeah, we had 6.
What'd you say? Athletics or
Acrobatics,
So dex
yeah.
or
Strength.
words.
Talk to me, Goose.
Yeah,
Oh, it's awesome. 18
You got it.
Yeah.
plus
So-
1 for acrobatics.
Very nice.
19.
my notes.
So you
say-
got it. At that point, you guys have pretty much surrounded her, and Trinia just kind of runs right into Tana while she's paying attention to the other 3 coming up to catch her. She stopped. You guys got her. And as soon as she stops, she starts breaking down.
Don't be alarmed. We're
she
not here,
We're not here to
crush
hurt you.
She breaks down in tears, and
We're here to secure the
knows
truth.
She knows that people are out after her. So
Yeah, but
before
we
you,
have the drag.
before you
we got
start talking to her, she's like, "It's a setup. I didn't do it. It wasn't me, and I don't want to die."
We
I
believe you.
hug her. It's okay.
Oh.
It's okay. Comforting.
We're here to make
I
sure
don't
the
wanna
truth comes
die.
out.
I don't
We'll
think
protect
they're
you.
gonna kill me. The queen's gonna kill me. I don't want to die.
We're not taking you to the queen. You'll be safe.
But where?
You shan't be a scapegoat, my lady.
The truth will come out.
But that's
It'll be all
okay.
right.
Where do I have to go?
Come with us. Come with me
Where?
if you want to live.
Come with me if you want to live. Will you be back?
Sure.
I'll be back. Yeah.
First, we've got to clean her up, though, and change her appearance a bit.
So decide. I have my disguise kit.
Okay.
Do that anyway, and then we
Yeah.
can do the image if you have to, I guess.
Well, I didn't take
You
that
can get
spell.
it? Okay.
But, I mean, I've got some powders and minerals, I guess, in my pouch. We can put dirt in her hair to darken it.
All right. So I'm actually not certain how disguise works, so let me look that up real quick.
Okay.
Is it a deception roll? How does
It
that
is a
work?
deception roll.
So the idea here is you want to get her from where you've captured her to one of Cressida's agents. She said someone would be nearby
Yeah,
to
like a
help
safe
out.
house or
You want to get her there before somebody else sees her. Because you guys have caused a bit of a commotion chasing her around the rooftops. There's nothing else the vagrant knows now. He could shout out that she's over there. And that little guy got past me, jerk.
Should probably chop her hair off.
While
Well,
JJ's
yeah, chop her
flipping.
head off.
Well,
Shave
Yeah,
her
yeah,
head.
You were
you
right
guys,
about the
you guys
dex
take
based.
I
over.
thought so.
it has the particular rules.
Yeah, what you going to do, though? We're here now.
It's all good.
Yeah.
You could raise your AC by 1 or re-roll a dex base.
So any of those
Or
failures...
get something within 10 feet.
Any of those failures that had stayed failures would have been 3d6 of falling damage.
and then you're off the path.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. There's not so much good chasing you can do from ground level when it's a rooftop chase.
Yeah.
You could help direct, specifically for Tana, she could have had Edgar help direct the chase, so that still would have been okay. But for others, might not have worked out so well.
You could use one of them to increase your base speed by 10 feet for one encounter. So they want you to use one in this chase, probably.
It very well could be, yeah, because it could help,
All right, so I have a 17 to disguise her.
which means...
That in order for someone to recognize them, they need to roll an insight check to determine that she's disguised and beat a DC 17.
That makes sense.
You guys are able to get her down to ground level, and on your way out of this area, off one of the side streets, almost out of an alley, Vencarlo Rossini steps out, and he says, "I can take her from here, thank you."
Do we trust him?
You should.
Who is this?
Vencarlo.
He's an old friend of Cress's.
Yeah, he's one of her. In this
So if we
case, it's
trust
an
her.
agent that she sent to help,
Okay.
and he says, "I can take her from here. She will be safe." And he has a couple of guys from his school, his swordplay school,
All right.
and he's able to take her.
She's scared. Don't do anything to make it worse.
Keep her safe. Truth must come out.
Yeah, be at ease, good lady. I will take care of her for sure.
I'm sure you will. You're a man of honor.
Wink, wink,
I can
nudge,
tell.
nudge.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We'll meet for mead later on.
And you know what, Kurt? I don't know if we did experience from the last one.
We did not do any experience
Let's
today.
hit up a little experience here, because first you're able to catch her. So let's go for the Trinio one first. 1,200 experience.
Yeah, we did loot on the last session, but we haven't done any XP today.
So let's do a little bit of that now. So you get 1,200 experience there
for capturing
for
Trinia?
capturing her, and since you're able to turn her over to Cressida via Vencarlo, you get 1,000 gold as a reward.
That's what I was hoping.
Okay. Let's see. Blah blah blah. All right. So those things happened. Now let's see the previous one. We were talking about Eel's End. She paid you for that, but there should be an experience reward as well. I will find that page. You know what? They don't actually have... This is one where they didn't have a page number of where to go for the encounter either, but they don't have an experience reward listed. Excuse me. So what I will do with that is what they have typically done here is I will give you experience as if you had defeated the X, whatever it is. So it will be 1,200 experience for delivering the blackmail as well.
What about the trash monster?
That damn good point, Mickie. Thank you. That would be 1,200 as well.
And we rescued the commoner.
Because that isn't even listed, I will give you experience equal to a Commodore 200
The
experience.
guy that was getting eaten by the trash monster.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So hang on, Trash Monster.
1,200.
Plus 300.
And then add 200 more for a Commodore.
1,400.
Yeah.
And I get 100 because I reminded you.
That's a good point. It's not party experience, it's Tana experience. All right, so you have her. Let me just make sure.
Okay.
Oh, and the reward that Cressida gives you for bringing Trinia in is what she told you, by the way. She said she offered 1,000 gold for bringing her in. So you get paid that 1,000 as the reward.
Okay.
Right. Blah, 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 blah. When you return to the Citadel, Cressida, she tells you that Trinia will be interrogated gently but thoroughly to determine her true guilt or innocence, and we will hold her for a few days. In the meantime, you actually hear rumors from the castle that the assassin has been caught and will be facing trial tomorrow.
Who's leaking this? Was this intentionally leaked by the castle? Or do they
That's
have
a good question.
a mole?
That is a
Well, they
good
held on
question.
to the whole thing of Trinia in the first place and let it come out slowly.
Yep.
Kind of a mess. I don't trust the queen.
I don't trust. I'm starting to lose trust in them as well. 'Cause how did this information get out?
So let me throw a couple of things out here if I can find the right rumors to throw in here. Nah. Nothing specific for that. So I won't use any official rumor. What I will tell you though is, from what you can tell, it is a mesh of time where not coincidence, but it overlaps almost exactly. That as soon as the word of Trinia's capture went from old Korvosa to the castle is when news of the assassin showed up. That the assassin was captured, although the castle definitely did not capture the assassin. You guys did. So the rumor is the castle has, or the Queen's Guard has captured the assassin and is holding her at the castle. And you know the opposite is true. The Queen's Guard didn't capture the assassin, and she is being held at the Citadel, the one that you guys captured. Mm-hmm. So the rumor that was released apparently for public consumption is not necessarily the truth.
And who stands
Or
to
they
us
have a
to
different
benefit?
assassin.
Or they have a different assassin. Right. It doesn't match up with the story you have, but the timing is uncanny, as it were.
Interesting.
I don't trust the queen no matter what.
Whoever does, though. I mean, has there ever been a story, aside from Disney, where the Queen was good? And even half of the Disney one she's bad.
right.
Right. But outside of Disney, I don't know of any story where the Queen's actually good or even benevolent.
Yeah, Excalibur, she cheats on her husband.
Eventually, they all go bad.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So this story is the exception, of course.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
she's
sure,
definitely
without
good.
Yeah. We've got a few minutes left on this. We don't necessarily need to start the next part yet. Do we want to talk a little bit about our characters? Have you guys thought of any other things that you might want for your character as far as a magic item? What's our loot look like? Kurt, how are things stacking up so far in the adventure?
So in terms of loot, our total obtained is at least 10,500. Maybe a little bit more if we sold some things, but we've spent about 2,000 of that. So we have a net of about 8,500, say, at least. I've got XP tracked to the extent that we care about that. Mm-hmm. And then I want to spend a little time between sessions, since this is our last one of the day, and look to see if there's stuff that Crispin might want to buy before next time. Also, we didn't talk too much today about kind of the level up, but hitting level 3rd is where you start to get more customized character options. So next time, maybe beginning of next session, I can talk a little bit more about mine, because it's cool mechanically, but I also have to have some explanation for why things are happening like they are.
Yeah.
So.
And I think for our purposes, the next leveling we will be after the end of the next recording session. And I think we'll probably hit 5 or 6 is my guess.
Oh, wow.
Based on how the adventure progresses. For example, the first thing we did today says after they've done the thing with Varric and or are level 3 or 4 go on to this next thing. So we did the level 3 thing. It's also the reason the garbage monster came out. You can imagine that would have been hell for 4 first level characters.
Right.
In the first round, the first person dies. In the second round, the second person dies. I don't think you guys could have done 114 points before it took out the whole party. So I don't think that was going to happen. But I thought it was a decent, fun thing for level 3 characters to attack. So there are plenty of things like that to go along, and the adventure does kind of spell out characters should be near this level to move on. And that's what we'll do as we go. So I think the next one will be level 5 or 6, and it will probably be, for those listening, it will probably be 4 sessions after you hear this that will probably hit the next level marker.
Here's a fun image of what the trash monster fight might have looked like.
Oh, that's actually pretty good. Is that a Pathfinder
image?
image?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's an
Stop
official
flying.
image.
Is that a
That's what we fought, I think.
yeah, no, but is that a person flying through the air?
Yeah,
So that's like
yes.
a commoner?
That's what it was trying to do to me. Pick you up,
Exactly.
slam you down.
Yep. They call it the tentacle slam is one of its attacks.
So I think one of the things before we start the next recording session, I want to kind of go through and, I guess, tally or summarize things we know, things we suspect.
It's a good point.
Because
I would like, I think, a bulleted list of important
out of
things.
hand.
Yeah.
So
Before we started today, there was only 2 things I mentioned, but more have come up. And it would be good to at least have the bulleted important points.
exactly.
Because of the way we do the podcast. And again, in a home game, of course, we can keep track of these things completely different. But on the podcast, we want to make sure both us and the listeners have a good idea of what the heck we're doing. Otherwise, it's kind of it gets off the rails too quickly. So we stay on the rails a little bit, and that's a great point, JJ. I think we'll probably have a bulleted list of things we know, and then as a party, you guys can decide which are more and less important.
Exactly.
Rather than me just telling you these are the only important things, let's give you the things you know, and then we can kind of pick and choose from there.
And I'll do a little background review because it's been a while since I was in the Pathfinder world, but maybe I can do some history or knowledge checks on, like, obviously there's some connection with Cheliax that could matter down the road.
And a good point, too, the Player's Guide to Korvosa for this adventure, the Player's Guide to Curse of the Crimson Throne. Anything that's in there, the characters may know. And I can tell you, as players and as a DM, I don't know all those things. You guys don't know all those things. When you read through it, there might be something that you haven't thought of yet that's sitting in the thing that you should know.
Right. I mean, we've got the ambassador that we can blackmail. We've got Hell Knights that may have a connection. I mean, who knows what's happening.
And it is important to keep noting the city is indeed in turmoil. So if it feels disjointed, that's partially on purpose. The city should be in turmoil. Everything you see may or may not be connected to the next thing. Saving that nobleman and trying to go to his house and camp out there. It wasn't going to work because that wasn't in there, but you guys were finding a place to camp out. And that piece, he may or may not ever show up again, but that's something that happened. It was important. It was saving him from rioters and learning more about who trusts the queen and who doesn't. And this new assassin that was named that you guys have picked up. Lots of things there. Mickie, what do you think about buying spells for Tana?
Yeah, I was just looking through. I think I'm going to pick up a spell book that has 100 blank vellum pages, which will allow me to actually carry a spell book rather than having to rely on returning to a library. There's also another couple of things in here that I think I'm going to pick up. Magnifying glass, because I think that fits her character.
That'd be kind of neat.
Poison of healing.
She can become like Sherlock Holmes,
Exactly.
investigating the scenes.
There's another one I just read, something that an antitoxin, having just experienced the trash monster, it might be beneficial to pick up stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we have quite a bit of time until we play again, so we should all, even if we don't start at level 5 next time, we should have a level 5 or 6 sheet ready.
And when I say 5 or 6, the differentiator there is if there's a big thing that happens with your class at 6, I'd rather have 6.
Okay.
I think it's 5 and 7 for most people, but we can
Be
look.
6 for me.
Would
Yeah.
it?
That's what I'd like to find out, because I don't want to go to 5 and end up you being short of a really cool class ability just because we picked 5.
Right.
I'd rather it be 6 and you get your cool class ability
Right.
so we can use it.
In the specific path, like for me, I get stuff at 6. So
Yeah,
there's
so 6
ability
would-
stuff at 5 and 7, and then path stuff at 6.
So that may be where we go then, just so you can keep using the cool character stuff, the cool class stuff. And as needed, I can adjust monsters or encounters to be a challenge for that level.
But we can also think about stuff we might want to buy in advance, so we're not trying to do it on the fly.
Yep.
And since Crispin was a Hulkamaniac this time, I think next time I may have to do, next time I rage, I might have to do Randy the Macho Man Savage or Jake the Snake Roberts.
Snap
or
into a Slim Jim.
Just do a different WWF character from my youth every time he rages.
I want you to do Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it.
Yes.
Are they the ones that did the bushwhack? No, that was the bushwhack
That was a
twins.
bushwhacker.
Bushwhacker. Yeah.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan walked into the ring with a 2x4.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a character, like most of them. All right, and that I think that really brings us up to the end of this episode. As Kurt was just mentioning, in real world time, it's going to be just over a month before we get back together again. So we will definitely stumble through our adventure and characters the next time we pick up. For those of you listening, of course, it will be from 1 week to the next. We'll try and keep it as fun and entertaining as we can for you. And we will continue with our adventure, which is a Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition campaign set in the Pathfinder Adventure Path Curse of the Crimson Throne.
We never said Happy New Year to everyone.
This episode's way past that.
Yeah.
Hopefully you've been having a Happy New Year. And as it is the end of January or beginning of February when you hear this, it's been a good year for you so far.
Happy Chinese New Year.
Happy Chinese New Year. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Thank you for listening. We say
Bye.
Bye. See ya.
Ciao.
Bye.
Arrivederci.
Banana.
The preceding podcast was brought to you by One Joe Young. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com.